Coming to you live from the Wallace Civic Center on the campus of Fitchburg State University. It's Hockey Night in Fitchburg here on FATV. I'm John Gugerty, joined as always by Dan Bullock. Dan, tonight we have the MT-FHS Bulldogs taking on the Green Wave of Greenfield. MT-FHS comes in on a bit of a hot streak. They have won each of their last 3 games.
Indeed, the last time you were here, John, it was that 7-4 game between MT-FHS and Lunenburg-Ayer-Shirley. That was a tremendously exciting game. After that, the following day in the Bushnell tournament, in that consolation game, they dominated Leominster to the tune of 5 goals in the first period and a 7-0 victory. Had an exciting game last Saturday in Boston. They took on Boston Ladin Academy. Got a goal late in that one to tie it up. Won it in overtime. And then today, and then after that, they took on Oakmont on Wednesday night. 5-0 win up at Cushing Academy. Tucker Watkins had 2 goals. For my count, he had 2 assists. Kyle Gendron had a goal and 2 assists. Ben Jeanette had a goal. Noah Johnson got his first career goal in that one. Easton Minardi had a solid game. And so did the Bulldog defense, limiting the Spartans to just 12 shots in the entire contest. Minardi got the clean sheet. He is under the weather today, so he's not going to get the nod. We're going to go back to Owen Richard today to get his 3rd start, his first appearance since the Leominster game in which he shut out the Blue Devils.
Richard 1-1 on the season, averaging 2.5 goals against on the year. MT-FHS as a team are 4-3 overall. They are 3-3 in the Coughlin Conference. Good for middle of the pack in the Coughlin. They are just beneath St. Bernard's, but a couple of games clear of Oakmont and Gardner. But of course it is early days here in the 2024-2025 season.
Yeah, although interestingly, with how unbalanced the schedules are with the things as it's going, in terms of league play, MT-FHS's already played half of their conference games. 6 down, 6 to go. They're 3-3 thus far in league play, but they still have a whole lot more games to go overall. This is just the 8th of 20 in their regular season.
The 8th game of 20 for MT-FHS, and only the 2nd home game for the Bulldogs. Monday, December the 16th, they hosted St. Bernard's here at the Civic Center. This is their first home game since.
Yeah, although they've played a couple of games at the Civic Center since those were as the road team wearing the red shirts. It's the first time since December the 16th we've seen MT-FHS wearing the white uniforms. It's definitely a backloaded schedule in terms of the home slate. In fact, even after this game, it's going to be 3 games away from the Civic Center. They're going to Hudson on the 13th, Chicopee on the 18th, and then Northbridge on the 20th. They're not going to be back here at the Civic Center till 2 weeks from today when they take on Worcester.
Starting that day, though, January the 25th, MT-FHS will have 9 regular season games remaining, just 2 of them on as the designated road team. 1 of them is at St. Bernard's, so that's, they're going to wear the other color jerseys. That's about it.
Yeah, I mean, the only time they're going to be leaving Fitchburg after they get back from the Northbridge game is going to be on February the 15th when they go out west and take on East Hampton, which is a team that I know Greenfield sees every now and again, although not this season apparently.
It is not the Tulane Green Wave, it is the Greenfield Green Wave. They come in 6-2-1 on the season. They are 3-1-1 in the Berry Conference, covering Western Massachusetts.
Indeed, indeed. Yep, the Green Wave have had a pretty solid season this year. Last year, they were the 25 seed in Division 4, and they've been working on trying to strengthen their schedule. 13th-year head coach Adam Bouchard, we got to talk with him before the game, and that was an effort they put in to try to strengthen their schedule. It's already showing some dividends. They're 12th in Division 4 coming into today's contest, and they've added a lot more opponents from Central Mass to help strengthen up the blow. They've already taken on Lunenburg-Ayer-Shirley. That was one of their 2 losses, a 3-2 loss to the Blue Knights back in December. They're going to be taking on Hudson and Oakmont. So this is a 3-game stretch in which they're going to be playing Central Mass teams. The last team they played back on January the 8th, that's a team that I think is a little familiar to you, the Terriers of West Springfield.
They're local. I could say that. They're local.
Mm-hmm.
They had about as long of a commute getting to Greenfield as I had getting here. Maybe a little bit shorter, but still.
Yep.
We mentioned MT-FHS comes in winners of their last 3 contests. Greenfield is unbeaten in their last 3. They defeated Longmeadow 7-5 back on December the 28th. Played to a 3-3 draw against Ludlow on last Saturday the 4th. And this past Wednesday, Dan, as you mentioned, they were victorious over West Springfield. That game, again, a final of 3-1.
Indeed, Jake Knight, Luciano, and Sean Bowman all had goals for the Green Wave. Jake Jurek had 2 assists. 4 different players had an assist as well. Cooper Smith with 28 saves. He's been the keeper who's played every minute in goal for the Green Wave this year. And Jake Jurek is going to be a player to watch for the Green Wave. 10 goals and 7 assists this season, and he is just 2 points away for 100 in his career and 2 goals away from 50 in his career.
Let's send it down to the ice for the introduction of the starting lineups and our national anthem. It is Hockey Night in Fitchburg here on FATV.
Good afternoon, high school hockey fans, and welcome to the Wallace Civic Center for today's Massachusetts Division IV matchup between the Green Wave of Greenfield High School and Monty Tech Fitchburg Bulldogs. Today is Hockey Day in the Burg, and the game is being televised by FATV. The student athletes involved in tonight's contest understand the importance of sportsmanship and know that it should be practiced at all times. Please help our students by showing respect to all participants and spectators at tonight's contest and cheering only in a positive manner. And now let's meet the Green Wave. Starting at forward, number 2, Jake Jurek. At forward, number 5, Jake Knight. At forward, number 14, Matt Garvin. Defense, number 11, Anson Prunier. Defense, number 15, Porter Hall. And in goal for the Wave, number 31, Cooper Smith. The head coach for the Green Wave is Adam Bouchard. And now for the Bulldogs. Starting on defense, number 27, Charlie Calero. Also on defense, number 5, Ryan Gavin. Number 12, starting at left wing, is Kyle Gendron. At right wing, number 20, Dylan Grant. At center, number 13, Tucker Watkins. And in goal, number 1, Owen Richard. The head coach for the Bulldogs is Noah Saracen. Officials for this afternoon's game, Brandon Phillips and Chris Sermis. Ladies and gentlemen, students, at this time I'd ask you all to please stand as we honor our nation and the flag with the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Hockey Night in Fitchburg here on FATV. I'm John Gugerty, joined as always by Dan Bolak. We are just about ready for puck drop as the Monty Tech Fitchburg Bulldogs will be taking on the Greenfield Green Wave. And folks, there is still plenty of time, of course, to come on down to the Wallace Civic Center just off John Fitch Highway on the campus of Fitchburg State University. But if you don't feel like it, or if you happen to know anyone in the Greenfield area who might be interested in watching this game, we absolutely welcome you. Go to watchfatv.org/civic for the webcast feed, also available on the FATV app via your iOS or Android devices, the Apple TV, Roku, Fire TV stores. And if that was a lot of confusing words, just go to fatv.org/watch-fatv, where we'll have a nice, concise, professionally written recap. Right, Dan?
Yep. All the different ways that you can watch us, fatv.org/civic if you just want the quick and dirty link to get you to the web stream. And remember that if you go to fatv.org, you'll find this game on demand for viewing in the days to come.
Just about ready for puck drop here. Fitchburg, Monty Tech Fitchburg going left to right in the white jerseys. And here with the play-by-play for period number 1 is Dan Bolak.
Thank you very much, John. And you see Greenfield in the green uniforms with the white numbers and trim. They'll go right to left in the opening 15. Charlie Colaro has it for the Bulldogs. Just dumps it in, looks for Dylan Grant. Just goes a little too far. Picked up by the defense by Greenfield on the near side. Jake Knight bustled into the boards, out to the red line. Colaro thinking about picking that up. Ryan Gavin instead will toss it out to the far side. Kyle Gendron picks it up on the left side boards. Gendron into the corner. Being pursued from behind by Porter Hall. Centering pass out to the left side for Gavin. Picked it up on his backhand. Just tried to move it along. That got picked up. And now off the right side boards, here comes Greenfield. And on the rush, here's Jurek. We mentioned Jurek on a bit of a milestone watch. We'll be on the lookout for him today, as he's 2 points away from 100, 2 goals away from 50. Here's Gendron on the left side, 1v3. He's actually taken down, draws a penalty. 56 seconds into this contest, the first power play of the game will go to Monty Tech Fitchburg.
They're going to get Lucas Ciano for what looked like a tripping. Less than a minute into the game, Monty Tech Fitchburg will spend 2 minutes on the man advantage.
Although Gendron was in there all by himself, even with the pressure, even facing 3 Green Wave, that's kind of hard to pluralize, 3 different waves, if you will.
When Luca's in there, do they call it the Ciano Biano?
Ooh. There's a neat one. Here's Colaro with a shot that goes well wide of the keeper and Cooper Smith. Smith's a junior. He's one of 4 goalkeepers on this Greenfield side, but he's played every game. He is a junior. 6-2-1, 272 goals against, 897 save percentage. Also has an assist this season. Pinned against the boards, picked up now to the left point. Colaro holding. Now off to the left side, Gendron, as Jeanette tried to cut towards goal, but that's intercepted by the Wave, and Sean Bowman will send it down the length of the ice.
It's a really good movie I watched in middle school called The Wave.
And another penalty coming up here against Greenfield. Another trip.
This time it's Sean Bowman, the guilty party. Monty Tech Fitchburg will have a 2-man advantage for a minute 19, or less than that if they can capitalize.
Bowman going to the box. He's got 4 goals and 5 assists this year. And they won't have his services for the next 2 minutes. It's the Bulldogs with an early 5-on-3. Here's Colaro. Tried to find Gendron on the left side of the slot, but he couldn't pick up the puck. Jackson Leader at the left point. A Fitchburg Red Raider through and through. On the left side, Watkins moving it along for Gendron. Gendron trying to split the 2 defenders. Nothing going there. Colaro picks it up at the point, keeps it in the zone. Comes back to him here, takes the shot, goes wide of the cage. 50 to go on the 2-man advantage. It's on the left side, picked up, shot and blockered away by Smith. That's the first save of the contest. Sent all the way down the ice. 35 to go on the man advantage. Colaro will try to lead the reset. Comes up with a lot of speed, just going to try to take it all the way to goal, then drop off. I don't think Gendron saw that coming at the last moment. And it sailed out of the zone and down the ice.
Yeah, Gendron was just a little bit too close, Dan, for that drop-back pass. Hit him right in the skates pretty much before he could react to it.
12 to go on the man advantage. Tucker Watkins will skate it up. Gains the right circle, gets the shot off, stopped by Smith. He'll pin it against himself and hold for a draw. 12-10 to go in the first. No score, shots 2-0 in favor of the Bulldogs.
If the Green Wave can hold on for 6 more seconds, they'll get 1 skater back, but they'll still face another 42 on the penalty kill.
They're ultimately controlled by the Bulldogs. And strong play by Wade Bardell to pin Gendron into the boards to kill off the final seconds of the penalty, as Luciano is out of the box and 1 player back on the ice for the Green Wave. Still 30 on the man advantage on the penalty to Bowman. The right side, Gendron trying to protect, Watkins trying to dig in there. Anson Prunier making the moves against the boards on the far side. We'll come back out to Prunier, the alternate captain. Will sail it out of the zone. Gets a lot of air when he puts that up in the air, but just enough that it stays, you know, away from the ceiling. Just the perfect amplitude. This time, breakout pass, the penalty expires, and out of the box comes Bowman. Greenfield survives the 5-on-3, and they're back to full strength. Haven't seen much of a chance for Greenfield to get anything going offensively because they've been on the kill for most of this game.
Yeah, they've only had 5 skaters on the ice for like a minute now.
It's all they've had the right to do, but they have killed off those 2 penalties, and we remain scoreless 4 minutes into this contest. Around the boards, Porter Hall's going to be first to arrive. Shakes off 2 different Bulldogs. Continues to skate it up to the near side. Here's Bowman. Gains the blue on the left side, 1-on-1. Can't beat the 1 defender there for the Bulldogs. Good positioning by Matt Daniels. Back into the Green Wave zone, now going forward on the right side. Jurek tries to center it, nothing going there. Picked up on the right side, Matt Garvin with some crunching hits into the boards. Players going to the ice on both sides. Kept in by Hall on the right side. No, it was not kept in by Hall. Out of the zone, it squirts out. More rough and tumble play in front of the Monty-Tech-Fitchburg bench. Out on the near side, here's Holden Trahan. A pass up for Stefanillo. He's the other Fitchburg Red Raider on this roster. The near side, Trahan looking for Noah Johnson. Got his first varsity goal just 3 days ago. So that's pushed back into the Bulldog zone. Trahan getting tangled up with one of the Waves. And the puck pokes out of the zone, comes to Anson Prunier. Prunier trying to knock it up for Lucasiano. Doesn't get much there. Stefanillo takes it, goes blue line pass. Charlie Colaro feeds it forward into the Green Wave zone. 9:35 to go in the first, no score. Shots 2-0, and losing an edge, the worst possible spot there was Prunier. Then took that hit there from Johnson, but everybody's all right. Gavin Roy behind the net, trying to settle in center, maybe looking for Johnson. Now Roy takes it himself. There's the shot. That was turned aside by Smith. Battling forward, and it comes out of the zone, off the boards. 2-on-1 coming the other way. Here's Jurek on the left side. Jurek shot saved by Owen Richard. That's the first save for Richard in this contest with 9:10 to go in the first.
Once Greenfield got back to even strength, Dan, they really started pushing the pedal to the metal. They have pretty much controlled the pace of play in the couple of minutes since they got back to 5-on-5.
Richard making his 3rd appearance this season. Went 37 for 42 against Littleton Bromfield, and then a 16-save shutout. 38 for 43 against Littleton Bromfield, and a 16-save shutout against Leominster last time out. That'll be sent all the way down, goes for icing. If you do ask the Telegram and Gazette, they'll say that Richard played a couple more games than that, but they've been getting their wires crossed this year.
That's fine. They're trying.
Icing called against the Green Wave. Face-off will come to the left of Smith. 8:56 to go in the first. Draw taken and won by the Bulldogs. Watkins trying to push it into the right wing corner. Battling a lot with Matt Garvin. He's got a lot of points on the campaign. 7 goals, 10 assists for 17 points. Tied for the team lead with Jurek. Off the boards, Kyle Gendron pitchforks it into the left wing corner. Prunier throws into the right wing corner. That'll pop up in the air. Daniels tries to settle it, pops over his stick. Will have to be taken by Leader at the red line and thrown down into the Green Wave zone. Breakout pass blocked for a moment, but found a recipient nevertheless in Jake Knight to the near side. Jurek gets a touch on and then changes off. A lot of battling for the puck there. Finally won by Ciano. Can't hold on to it. Tucker Watkins will have it instead. The sophomore skating up ice. And the timing was a little bit off there. Jordan Samet jumped the line. Watkins tried to double back, but just couldn't really get the timing right offsides against the Bulldogs with 7:59 to go in the first.
Yeah, Samet was about a skate's length ahead, and he didn't notice Watkins pull it back. By the time he did, it was that was falling apart.
Bulldogs win the draw. Samet tries to get a touch on. It's over the stick of Austin Haas, so we dump back in by Colaro. Behind the net, taken by Caleb Petit. Thrown out to the far side. A lot of pace up the ice. Lucasiano took it, couldn't get a shot off, got it back on the right side boards. Battling with Ben Jeanette, comes out to the left point. Shot bounces in front and ends up hopping wide of the cage. That looked dangerous. A lot of traffic in front, a lot of different directions that puck could go, but fortunately for Richard, not on target.
Richard had lifted his left glove like he intended to snatch that puck out of the air, but instead it took a deflection and was bouncing past him through the crease.
I think Monty Tech Fitchburg just got busted for too many men. There's two different signals that are in vogue for signaling too many men. One is putting 6 fingers up in the air, and the other one is spinning your finger around. The official made the call, prefers the latter one, and Colin Bean will sit for 2 minutes to serve the too many men.
Well, we established that when Lucas or when Nico's in it, it's the Ciano Biano. So when Colin's in it, does that make it the Scene Bean?
Tune into Hockey Night in Fitchburg for more creative names for the penalty box.
Listen, I have to contribute something.
And you are. Here's Matt Garvin on the rush. The reset takes it to the left wing corner. His pass broken up by Calaro, jamming away on the side of the net. The puck is somewhere. Wherever it is, it's not in the net, and it's in a location in which we're not going to have any further play. It was under Richard in the end of the day, but he had that near side post held firmly tight.
Sean Bowman and Jackson Leader were exchanging pleasantries after the whistle, getting to know one another. You don't get to see these guys from Greenfield that often.
Shaw on the right side, saved by Richard. Rebound into the right wing corner. We believe that these two teams have only played once since I graduated high school. That would be going back to 2008. And that was in 2018. That was a 7-5 win for Monty Tech Fitchburg when they were Fitchburg Monty Tech. And the interesting thing to take from that, Brandon Garneau had 5 goals in that game for the then Red Raiders. There's a shot that got a piece of the iron. Good pace there off the chance from Garvin, and a 2-on-1 back the other way. Here's Gendron into the zone on the left side, doubles back. Tries to get the pass off, can't get it past Porter Hall. And the Green Wave will come back the other way. Another shot, that's fought off by Richard. Now to the left side, kick save by Richard as well. Now a chance in front. They can't put it home. Great chances for the Green Wave. Still 35 to go on this man advantage. Now another chance at the top of the paint. Can't get it through, and it's cleared down the length of the ice.
Ciano had a wide open net in front of him, had a chance to tap the puck in, but it just hopped over the blade of his stick.
One of the Green Wave fell to the ice from the actions of Ben Jeanette, but they say play on. It was just a clean hit that sent him to the ice while the player had possession of the puck. Couldn't regain the zone, dumped down the ice. Wade Bardell will hold on to it and pass it up ice as the penalty expires. And whether or not the penalty had expired or not, you still can't ice it when you're on the power play, so icing nevertheless. With 5:15 to go in the first, shots now 5-3 in favor of the Green Wave, but we're still scoreless.
I think we've established, Dan, that Wade can bard well, but how's his Barbarian? Does he have a Ranger in there anywhere? Can he monk? It's a very rare player who can monk.
I've mentioned before, you use oh, what's the game?
Dungeons and Dragons?
It's amazing I couldn't think of that.
Okay.
You use Dungeons & Dragons, your base. I use Heroes of Might and Magic 3 as my base for fantastical creatures and classes.
Mm-hmm.
And all of those are just from different factions.
Yeah.
So they don't mix as well in my head as they mix in your head. So it makes it harder for me to come up with a response.
Listen, it's always great for me when you get and laugh at a joke, but I'm here to amuse myself. First and foremost, if I think it's funny, it's probably coming out of my mouth.
4:35 to go, first period, no score. Green Wave can't get it out of the zone. Austin Haas tries to throw it towards goal. Jeanette tries to put the redirection on, but misses the mark. The other number 11, Anson Prunier, tries to clear it out, but it's kept in on the left side and thrown around the boards. Hits that Zamboni entrance and comes to a stop behind the net. Cam Hopkins will get it out of the zone. Jurek moves along to the center circle. Matt Garvin, his shot stopped by Richard, and he'll hold for a draw.
Dan, you mentioned the Zamboni entrance creating a bit of a unique obstacle on the right side of the ice. I have noticed off there on the far side, just, you know, not saying he's coming for the job or anything, there's a backup ice shaver just ready to go. just in case there are any issues like the ones we encountered last week.
Yes, the last time that John was here, we had some adventures with the Zamboni ice resurfacer. On the near side, after a shot went wide of the cage. Out of the zone it comes. Greenfield trying to regain from Bowman. Bowman is able to get into the zone. Can't get a good shot off. Good block there by Jackson Leader, just setting himself up in a spot that it would foul the lane. Nick Atkins up the left side. Atkins into the zone, he squeezed into the boards. Around on the far side, Leader keeps it in. Punches it off, and now around to the right side, and there it goes off that Zamboni entrance again. Led to a prime opportunity for Jackson Stubbert. Because it hit that corner there, another shot goes wide. Just one of those things you have to watch out for in some of these rinks. Not every rink is built the same. Even Greenfield will tell you that. Collins Moylan, where they play, is one of those cookie-cutter state rinks that's only 185 long. Compared to the standard 200 that you see here, as that's deflected up into the netting and out of play. 2:57 to go in the first, no score.
Fitchburg Monty Tech over the last 5 minutes or so, or Monty Tech Fitchburg, my apologies, has done a good job, I think, in kind of reclaiming the momentum. The Green Wave of Greenfield had really kind of seized the opportunity once they got back to even strength earlier in this first period, but over the last few minutes, I think Monty Tech Fitchburg has done a good job reasserting themselves, and they've looked capable and dangerous.
These two teams ranked well in Division 4. Monty Tech Fitchburg in the first power ratings that just came out yesterday, 20th in Division 4, and Greenfield is 12th.
We expected coming in that this would be a good, close, even matchup, and through not quite 15 minutes, it has been just that.
And Monty Tech Fitchburg, when they beat Boston Latin Academy last Saturday, that's a team that's number 14 in Division 4. So you know that Monty Tech Fitchburg is capable of playing a competitive game with a team of this level. Face-off will come to the left of Cooper Smith with 2:41 to go in the first. Shot 6-4 in favor of the Green Wave. Draw one by the Bulldogs. Gendron's shot is blocked out in front. Sean Bowman skating up on the right side. He's got Knight to his left. Not able to get a pass off or anything of that measure, but still keeping the play alive, but dispossessed by Tucker Watkins. Watkins skating it up ice. Had a goal all by himself. The first goal of Wednesday night's game was one where he took possession of the puck and skated it all the way down through multiple defenders. Didn't need anybody's help for that one. It's dumped into the zone behind the net. Taken by Prunier. He'll double back with Gendron in pursuit. Prunier will get the pass up. Now here's Jurek. Jurek on the right side. Solid centering pass, goes off a Bulldog stick and away from the intended recipient.
It was a great job by Holden Trahan to just deflect that centering pass, Dan. That was going to set up a prime scoring opportunity for the Green Wave.
And a shot thrown in on Richard. That was dipping on him as well. He had to really move his glove down to pick that one up and held for a draw. Official was waiting for a moment to get for one of the Waves to get close enough to justify blowing the whistle. Eventually they gave it. Here's Jeanette for the Bulldogs. Just pushed into the boards there. Popped up, active sticks. Keeping away from players in the neutral zone. 1:22 to go in the first. Lucasiano on the far side, battling with Jeanette. Actually lost his stick for a moment as well.
It's the second time in this first period that Ben Jeanette has just lost the handle on his lumber.
Calaro with the shrewd move to avoid the hit, but then turns it over here. Gets the active stick to knock it back to the right side where Petit will move it along to the right side. Now in the final minute of the first frame. Behind the net, four players battling for possession, two on either side. Calaro got it, but then FedEx to Brady Pareda, who sniped it into the top left corner. And with 43.2 to go in the first, it's Greenfield who have the first strike.
Tremendous pass right to the stick of Brady Pareda. He had about half a second, Dan, to look down the goaltender, Richard, line up his shot, and deliver it, and he did not miss.
Even rougher for Colaro because Pareda's on the other team. Although, from the officials' eyes, they'll say that that feed came from Ciano. I thought that was Colaro who'd won the puck and then fed it. But they'll give assists to Bowman and to Lucas Ciano on what is the third goal of the season for Brady Pareda. The junior forward will make it 1-0 Greenfield. And now here's Jurek on the right side. See if they can find another one late, looking for the tip in front for Garvin. But he couldn't get his stick on it. 10 to go in the period. Jurek caught up in the slot. Richard will knock it away. Grant will throw it around the boards. Will be picked up by Bardell, but he's not going to have enough time to shoot it. As the buzzer sounds, the 15 minutes of the first period come to an end. And Greenfield have the advantage.
Really good, really evenly played back and forth first period, Dan. You could say both teams deserved a goal. Monty Tech Fitchburg obviously had the two-man advantage early on, unable to capitalize on that. Greenfield kind of seized the momentum for a few minutes there. Monty Tech Fitchburg took it right back. But at the end of the period, you know, there are a number of scores that you could consider fair. 1-0 Greenfield, I think, is one of them.
Yeah, that seemed like a fair result for what we saw in the action in the early going. And one of the challenges that I saw was that Monty Tech really struggled to get consistent shots on Cooper Smith, especially after the 5-on-3 expired. I think in the last 9 minutes or so of the period, they really only had one shot on target. I mean, they didn't have a lot of trouble getting into the offensive zone, but the issues came from just a matter of being able to turn the puck in the direction of Cooper Smith. There were shots that went wide, a lot of shots that went wide, a couple chances that got blocked, but really only a couple that ever got to Smith.
Now, you're not going to put the puck in the back of the net until you at least put the puck on the net. And I'm sure for Noah Saracen and the rest of the Monty Tech Fitchburg coaching staff, that's going to be a point of emphasis as they head to the locker for this first intermission.
Indeed. Trying to find a way to simplify things, you know. But even with the pressure and all of that, you know, they were holding firm, and it looked like for much of the period that we might not get a goal in the frame, but just winning that puck battle in the end for Greenfield and getting control of that puck that came to the slot, and it was just a prime spot for Brady Pareda to shoot, and he would not miss from there. His third goal of the season gives the Green Wave a 1-0 lead into the first intermission.
We will take that intermission with the players, but folks, don't go far. Come on back for the second period of action. We still have 30 minutes of hockey to bring you. It is Hockey Night in Fitchburg here on FATV. We are back here at the Wallace Civic Center on the campus of Fitchburg State University. It's Hockey Night in Fitchburg on FATV, where the Bulldogs of Monty Tech Fitchburg, playing host to the Green Wave of Greenfield, find themselves in a 1-0 hole as we get ready to start period number 2. I'm John Gugerty, joined as always by Dan Bolak. And Dan, Greenfield really took advantage in that first period once they got back to even strength.
Once they did, they finally started to get things going, although it took a little over 5 minutes for them to get their first shot on goal. They were able to really keep the tempo going, the momentum, after they killed off the 5-on-3 that they opened the game with. They got a number of shots on Owen Richard early on, and Monty Tech Fitchburg had trouble really answering back. They only ended up with 4 shots in that first period, and as for Greenfield, you know, they won a puck battle in the right wing corner, and the puck came out to Brady Pareda, who was just waiting in the slot, sniped it top left corner for the only goal of the period with 43.2 to go in the frame. And that's where we stand right now, 1-0 Greenfield through 15 minutes.
Pareda's goal assisted by Sean Bowman and Lucas Ciano. Again, we mentioned Jake Jurek of the Green Wave, chasing a bit of history, 2 goals away from 50 in his high school career, 2 points away from 100 for the senior forward.
Indeed, one of the alternate captains of this Green team along with Anson Prunier. Loki Rhodes, who haven't really said his name much today, he's the captain.
Teams have changed sides for the second period. Monty Tech Fitchburg wins the draw. They're going right to left in this 15-minute frame, wearing the white jerseys trimmed with red. Green Wave appropriately dressed in green. Taking it down for Monty Tech Fitchburg is Kyle Gendron. He gains the blue line and will steer it back behind the net. Gets it ahead to Tucker Watkins. Watkins takes a shot, blocked in front by Porter Hall, and winds its way into the glove of Cooper Smith. Will get a face-off 24 seconds into period number 2.
The last time that Greenfield played on Wednesday when they took down West Springfield 3-1, it was a bit of a revenge for them because one of their 2 losses this season was a 6-1 loss to West Springfield down at the Olympia in West Springfield on Boxing Day. So they were able to get revenge with that 3-1 win in what was a very well-played game.
Gendron skates in on goal, loses the handle, goes back behind the net. Watkins there to play it. He'll send it back to Gendron. Gendron and Watkins playing 2-on-5. Probably not going to work out in the long run, and they are in fact dispossessed. Clear the zone. Monty Tech Fitchburg will reset. Sent ahead for the Bulldogs for Atkins. He gets it forward to Gendron. Tries to send it back behind the net, but it's picked up instead by Lucasiano. Green Wave able to clear the zone. They'll get it ahead for Sean Bowman. Chased down for Monty Tech Fitchburg by Jackson Leader. He'll send it ahead to Grant. Along the near side boards, it comes to Lucasiano. Shot very similar from Pareda to his goal. That shot went wide. Not quite as much time for him to set up. Otherwise, it might have been 2-0. Back behind the Monty Tech Fitchburg net. Bowman plays it to Ciano. Lucasiano turnaround shot, save made by Owen Richard. We'll stop the clock, get a face-off in the Monty Tech Fitchburg zone after both teams change skates. And skaters, mostly skaters, not skates.
I don't think those quick release skates are as common in the high school level.
I don't want to put the phrase quick release anywhere near anything sharp. Just a thought. Monty Tech Fitchburg unable to clear the zone. Shot in by Porter Hall is steered away by Richard. Second attempt still unable to clear is Monty Tech Fitchburg. Gavin will give chase. He's knocked down to the ice. But it comes back behind the net. Collaro plays it along and finally able to clear. Taken into the zone by Haas. He drops it back. Ben Jeanette gets it along the near side boards and is kicked right back out by the Green Wave. Chance now for Greenfield. Matt Garvin is dispossessed. Collaro slammed into the boards, but he maintains possession. 3 skaters there. Bulldogs don't know where the puck is. Finally comes forward to Austin Haas. Haas slides it in. Just scooted away by Smith. One of the easier saves he'll ever be credited with, I think. Kept in the offensive zone momentarily, but it finally, mostly by accident rather than any intent on Greenfield's part, comes out to center ice. Poked along the far side boards by Petrin. Flicked right back out. Chance now for Monty Tech Fitchburg. This is Gavin Roy. He's slammed into the far side boards and dispossessed. Comes back out to Johnson. Now back to Roy. Plays it off the boards to no one in particular. Picked up by Porter Hall. He'll steer it back out. Johnson tried to get it ahead to Roy, but it was rejected. Shot blocked. Good job there. Just getting the arm up by one of the Waves. Now a chance for Greenfield coming back the other way. Lucasiano wanted to get it to Jurek, couldn't find him. 2-on-1 against him. Puck squirts in near the Zamboni entrance. A little bit of pushing and shoving, would you believe it? That's hockey. Comes along the near side boards, but it's kept in there by Cam Hopkins. Hopkins sends it back behind the Monty Tech Fitchburg net. Leader tried to clear. Shot goes wide of Richard. Gavin once again. Shot, no! Swing and a foul tip, basically, off the stick of Cam Hopkins. Comes back out to the red line. Gaining the zone for Monty Tech Fitchburg is Stefanillo. Roy tries a shot. Trickles wide of the net. Dangerous loose puck there for a moment, but it's picked up by the Green Wave. 11-11 to play here, period number 2. 1-0 in favor of Greenfield. Battle along the near side boards. Pareda emerges victorious. He leaves it back. Centering pass. Sciano's shot almost took a deflection off the skate of Stefanillo. Would have been dangerous for the Bulldogs, but they're able to clear. That pass goes off the stick of Cam Hopkins, so there will be no icing. Both teams change up. 9 fresh skaters and poor Mr. Hopkins alone on the ice. Monty Tech Fitchburg gets it in. Charlie Collaro was trying to hit a cross-ice pass, but it was just a little bit too far. I think he was trying to hit Jackson Stubbart there, but he commits icing instead. We'll get a face-off rather in the Monty Tech Fitchburg zone.
Greenfield's done a great job in really disrupting the passing lanes and getting in the way of shots. They've blocked quite a few shots already in this second period, and really a strong forecheck from the Green Wave has made it very difficult for Monty Tech to ever really be comfortable in the offensive zone.
In the defensive zone now, they're able to clear. 3-on-2 for them if they hurry, but handled well defensively by Hall. He'll send it in. No penalty along the near side boards. Heard some gasping from the crowd. They wanted a call, didn't get it. Collaro trying to clear it, gets to Gendron. He'll send it cross ice in the vague direction of Dylan Grant. Sent back, and now forward for Grant once more, but it's played instead by Caleb Petit. Petit able to clear back to center ice. As we hit the 10-minute mark, a third of a period has gone by. I think we've only had the one whistle. Collaro plays it along the near side boards for Gendron. Gendron going 1-on-3, doesn't work well for him. Green Wave are able to skate it back out. Gaining the offensive zone is Jurek. Looking for point number 99 in his high school career, but he's dispossessed. And cleared out after a deflection from the Green Wave, but it is indeed a successful clearance for the Bulldogs. Gendron loses the handle. It's sent back in, chased by Collaro. He uses his body to steer Garvin away from it. And the Bulldogs once again, Dan, find themselves on the back foot, trying to get the puck just out of their zone.
Let's see how the Green Wave are setting up in a 2-1-2 formation. Just a really strong forecheck that's made it very difficult for the Bulldogs to gain territory.
Chance now for the Bulldogs. Austin Haas loses the puck. Referee was right there. Didn't help him out. Comes back into the Monty Tech Fitchburg zone. Jackson Leader will play it, and the Bulldogs will reset. Haas right in front of his bench. 3 Bulldogs lined up on the blue line. It finally comes to Whaley. He's knocked on his backside. Pardon me, that was Jordan Samet. Comes back behind the Green Wave net. Centering pass for Samet. Shot save made by Cooper Smith. That took a deflection as it was coming in, but Smith did well to stay with it. Now a 2-on-1 for the Green Wave if they hurry. Shot snatched out of the air by Owen Richard. Best save of the night for the senior goaltender from Ashburnham. Keeps it a 1-0 deficit for the Bulldogs.
Boy, that was great play, too, from Jackson Leader. Getting back into the rush. Could have been a 2-man breakaway with a inferior defenseman there. But Sean Bowman had it well secured on his stick. And with the pressure from Leader, got that one off. Took a great save there from Richard. And snatching it out of there with the glove. Definitely the best save we've seen tonight.
Green Wave still with a chance, though. Centering pass, shot. Save made by Richard. He looked behind him. He didn't know where the puck was. For a second, it looked like Brady Pareda had his second goal of the night. And you saw Owen Richard reach down for that puck to his right, and then his head turned to the right. I thought he expected to see the puck in the back of the net.
Yeah, when you're going cross ice like that and going down to the ice, sometimes when you're going down and you just get a piece of the puck somewhere, you're not quite sure. You can't necessarily perceive it sometimes. And so when Richard was going across, he didn't feel the puck. And so that's why he turned behind him. But sometimes, you know, it gets caught under your pads. Sometimes it's caught somewhere in a spot where you just don't really feel it. And in that case, you know, everyone looked in the net, but there was nothing there.
Another shot got a deflection by Bowman, went up into the netting. That was the reason for the second face-off. Now played along the far right boards. In the corner, Jordan Samet's going 1-on-2. He's dispossessed. Shot goes wide. Greenfield really pressing it now, trying to make this a 2-0 game as we approach the midway point of the second period. Still with the offensive possession, finally taken away from them. Samet is able to clear. His cross-ice pass finds Ben Jeanette. Unable to gain the blue line, cleared right back out. Here comes the Green Wave. 1-on-3 is Bowman. He leaves it back for Pareda. Pareda's shot, save made by Richard, and we'll get another face-off.
Owen Richard's been busy, especially now in the last couple of minutes of this second period.
He has faced a number of very dangerous shots, but to his credit, he has stopped all of them.
Only 4 shots this period for Greenfield, but they've all been really high quality.
Face-off controlled by Monty-Tech-Fitchburg, but we have an injury. I believe this is one of the players who was involved in the face-off. Just went right down to the ice. Dan, we have a pretty terrible angle. Can you tell that? It looks like it's Matt Garvin, number 14 for the Green Wave.
It is.
Was involved in that face-off and then just went right down to the ice. Referees blew the whistle quickly. Garvin back to his feet. He'll skate to his bench on the near side. Good to see him getting off the ice under his own power. We'll keep an eye on him, see if he's able to get back out there.
He's a senior, one of 7 seniors on this Green Wave side. We mentioned, too, the player they affectionately refer to as Garvo. 7 goals and 10 assists this season. That's the team high in terms of assists, tied for the team high in points.
Unable to clear it out was Monty-Tech-Fitchburg. Shot, rebound, trickles wide. That was dangerous out in front. Lucasiano unable to capitalize for the Green Wave, but they get the puck back once again. Chance for Greenfield to reset. Cross-ice pass for Hall. Hall tries to find Ciano, unable to do so, and it's slapped out. We have a penalty as well. Monty-Tech-Fitchburg sent to the bench. That's Colin Bean in the penalty box. Second time for him today that he's served time.
If this time for something he actually did. Didn't get to hear the penalty there, but they clearly felt that the injury that occurred was due to foul play.
So Greenfield has already had the offensive advantage in this second period. Now they're on the power play. Although Monty-Tech-Fitchburg has done a good job killing it off so far. 68 seconds to go. Shorthanded shot bounces straight up in the air off the stick of Cooper Smith. Charlie Collaro got every bit of that shot, but Smith was equal to the task. Flicked down the ice for the Bulldogs. Chance for the Green Wave to reset. 50 seconds left for them on the man advantage. Just about 6:10 left to play in period number 2 as Jurek gains the zone. Jake Jurek will take it back behind the net, try the wraparound. Steered away by Richard. Was open there for a minute. Jurek unable to take advantage. No icing, of course, as Monty-Tech-Fitchburg sends it all the way down with now less than 25 seconds to play on the Greenfield power play. Sent into the offensive zone, chased down for Monty-Tech-Fitchburg by Leader. He'll get it out just over the blue line. Green Wave have to reset. They lose the handle. Jordan Samet with a shorthanded opportunity. 10 seconds left. Samet goes down to the ice and then into the boards. He's going to take some time getting up. We'll be back to even strength in just a couple seconds, but for now there's a puck in front of the ice. Jordan Samet is still down all the way at the other end. We finally get a whistle and a stoppage. Samet took a hit, Dan, and then as he was sliding across the ice, he went headfirst into the boards. You can see he is shaken up. He'll take some time, need some help getting back to his feet and then to the bench.
The players all skate out to help Noah Saracen, the head coach, out there to check on his player. But he's back up and skating now, more or less under his own power, but it must have just been, a very uncomfortable few moments for Samet. He's just a freshman. He's from Lunenburg, just skating down the left side, killing off the rest of that penalty, and then just lost an edge with the contact from that one member of the Green Wave, and then into the boards. Something didn't quite feel right, so he stayed down, and eventually, once the penalty expired, they realized we got to deal with that. So they blew the whistle.
Back to even strength. Cleared out of the Monty-Tech-Fitchburg zone. Picked up for the Green Wave by Bardwell. He sends it forward. Cleared out by the Bulldogs, but immediately dispossessed. Comes to Bardwell again and his blue line. Cross-ice pass for Prunier. He loses the handle. Quick chance for the Bulldogs. Shot goes wide off the stick of Dylan Grant. Opportunity for Monty-Tech-Fitchburg to tie this up. Unable to do so, however, we remain 1-0 in favor of Greenfield. Now less than 4:50. Another pass is intercepted. Shot save. Just caught right out of midair by Cooper Smith. Austin Haas took the chance, but Smith said no.
One of those instances where on the turnover, Haas had a lot of space to actually work with. Didn't like wasn't feeling comfortable with the potential opportunities to pass it off there and go for a one-timer. So he just took the shot anyway. Do whatever you can just to at least get it on net. And Smith was able to see it all the way and make the stop.
Monty Tech Fitchburg now with their first real sustained offensive possession of this second period. Sent back behind the Green Wave net. Intercepted there by Greenfield. Unable to keep it in at the blue line was Gavin, and now a chance for Greenfield coming the other way. Jake Jurek centering pass, shot! Save made by Richard. He kicks it wide. Would have been Jurek's 99th point. Now Jurek a shot, no. Taken off of his stick before he's able to do so. Tucker Watkins clears it out of his zone. 4 minutes left to play here in the second period as Watkins finds Gavin, and Gavin sends it into the zone. Gendron menacing Petit. Puck goes behind the Green Wave net. Centering pass deflects off a Green Wave player. Back out to the far boards for Colaro, but it's cleared out. It will have to be chased down by Jackson Stubbart. Gavin sends it ahead for Gendron. Back across the ice for Stubbart. He beats one man, but it's poked away from him. Another chance for Gendron. He's dispossessed. All the action in that far left corner. Comes out to the point. Shot might have taken a deflection off the stick of Matt Daniels, but Cooper Smith had it all the way. He actually came out a little bit, reached up, made the glove save. Shots on goal, 13-8 in favor of the Green Wave.
This period, it'll be 5-4 in favor of Greenfield as well.
I think most, if not all, of Monty Tech Fitchburg's shots have come in the last few minutes. They control the faceoff. Back out to the point. Wrist shot steered away by Smith. Green Wave will try to clear as they battle forward along the near side boards. Taken out by Grant. His centering pass is deflected. Nico Ciano will clear despite the best efforts of Austin Haas. Gets it right back though, does Haas. Gets it to Jeanette. Another shot, save deflection by Smith that goes up into the netting, and we'll get another stoppage. Just under 3 minutes to play. It's been a very exciting back and forth second period, Dan, but 12 minutes and change in, no goals.
It does seem like a range of shots seem to come in flurries, if you will, in quick bunches. It's been a very strong, grindy defensive game between these two sides.
Haas and Garvin battle to a draw on the faceoff. Haas winds up taking a shot, poked away by Smith. Comes to Stubbart. His centering pass is intercepted. Green Wave will try to come the other way. This is Jake Jurek. His shot goes off the stick of Jeanette up over the Monty Tech Fitchburg net. Back out to the point, kept in the zone. Jurek once again. This time he had a leader on him. Unable to get the shot on target. Bulldogs unable to clear the zone, kept in by Prunier. He sends it to Jurek, who gets it ahead to Garvin. I don't know if Garvin was trying to pass or if that was just a shot where he didn't get the velocity he wanted. Either way, it trickles in on Richard, and he covers up.
And good to see Garvin's all right after we saw him take that fall a few minutes ago. And last time we gave you that shot update, it was 5-4 Greenfield in the period, and then Monty Tech Fitchburg got 3 quick ones.
Now 14-11 overall in favor of the Green Wave. Faceoff comes to Richard's left. It's won by Watkins. He's able to get it cross ice for Grant, and the Bulldogs will clear the zone. Grant pokes it ahead. He was looking for Gendron. Gendron wasn't on the same page. It falls to Porter Hall. Hall pressured now by Gendron. Along the near side boards, he was trying to hit Pareda, but Pareda wasn't looking for it. Sent back in behind the Green Wave net. Grant for Watkins. Tucker Watkins now. Looked like he was going to pass to Gendron. He'll skate it out instead. Had Colaro at the point, tried to keep it himself, but Watkins lost the handle. Green Wave get it back, but right back, and we get a whistle. I think Monty Tech Fitchburg thought they were onside. They were not, and now, Dan, I only saw that out of the corner of my eye. Did Caleb Petit take a whack at somebody?
If you saw it out of the corner of your eye, I didn't see it in my eyes at all.
I saw a swinging motion from somebody in green, and then there was a gasp and pointing from the fans along the near side. So No penalties assessed, so it must not have been too far outside the realm of sportsmanship. Puck comes in on Cooper Smith. He covers up. Green Wave head coach Adam Bouchard shouting instructions to his charges. Had a nice chat with him and Ren Lenoir, part of the Greenfield coaching staff. Shot off the faceoff, steered away by Smith. Holden Trahan tries to play it along the near side boards. Gendron's there. Grant tries a shot, blocked a number of times. A little 20-on-20 violence. Grant and Bardwell getting in on it. Jake Knight goes to the ice as he gains the zone. Sent across the blue line for Jurek. Jurek's pass went through Knight and Garvin. Comes to the near corner. Now Garvin in the center, turnaround shot. I don't know if Richard or the bar made that save, but either way, the rubber stayed out of the net. 45 seconds left to play here, second period. Bulldogs with a chance to make something happen.
That was all bar, by the way, all crossbar.
Green Wave gained his own big hit at the boards. Intensity picking up. Greenfield has to tag up. 30 seconds left in the period. Along the near side boards, gaining the zone is Ciano. Ciano shot save. Richard doesn't know where it is. I think he was the only guy on the ice who didn't. There were two guys from Greenfield crashing down on the loose puck. It was on the ice between the knees of Owen Richard, but he had his head up on a swivel, thinking it had deflected away from him. He was the only guy, Dan, who did not know where that puck was.
Definitely desperation for a moment. 7 shots in this period for Greenfield, and almost all of them have been high danger. Richards played a tremendous period to keep this a 1-0 game.
Jackson Stubbert gets it ahead for Haas. 10 seconds left in the period. Monty Tech Fitchburg has to hurry if they want to equalize before we go to the locker rooms. Back behind the Green Wave net. Stubbert, centering pass, steered away by Smith, and that will take us to the end of the second period. Helter-skelter on both sides of the ice, but we end the period as we began, 1-0 in favor of Greenfield.
You definitely saw the grindiness of a defensively minded period there, with so many different opportunities emerging through a lot of hard work, but some great goaltending on both sides. The junior and Cooper Smith, the senior, and Owen Richard keeping this period scoreless. A lot of great chances really for both teams, especially for Greenfield. They had probably 3 or 4 extremely high quality chances that, by all accounts, the law of averages tell you they should have scored on maybe 1 or 2 of them, but
Richard made a number of tremendous saves, Dan, snatching the puck out of the air, skating around, getting his stick out, getting his skate out, just kicking at the puck as it was almost wrapped around on one occasion. Had a little bit of luck there at the end. There was a bit of a scare where the puck was loose about a foot away from the line, but hey, at the end of the day, he got the job done for Monty Tech Fitchburg, at least so far. We still have 15 minutes left to play, and of course, the Bulldogs trail in this one. They will look to find an equalizer in the third period.
Definitely a better period for Monty Tech Fitchburg. 8 shots in this period compared to the 4 that they had in the first period. Definitely getting more opportunities, but you can see they definitely have to work extremely hard just to get any consistent opportunities on Cooper Smith, and that's a credit to how strong Greenfield's defense is. They're not 6-2-1 for nothing.
Green Wave, very strong opposition for the Bulldogs. We'll see if Monty Tech Fitchburg can equalize and send this game to overtime, or maybe win it in regulation, or if Greenfield can hang on or even expand what is currently a 1-0 lead. Folks, we will take the second intermission break with the players, but do not go anywhere. You are not going to want to miss this third period of action. It is Hockey Night in Fitchburg here on FATV. Back here on FATV, it is Hockey Night in Fitchburg, coming to you live from the Wallace Civic Center on the campus of Fitchburg State University. I'm John Gugerty, joined as always by Dan Bolak. And Dan, as we get ready for the third period here, this really is anybody's game.
It has definitely been an even game. Both teams have had a lot of great opportunities. In the way that these teams have played defensively, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago in the game between Fitchburg, Monty Tech, and Lunenburg Air Shirley that a lot of goals in that game basically came from out of nowhere. And for all we know, any potential equalizer for Monty Tech Fitchburg, any potential insurance goal for Greenfield could be just like that, a goal that could be coming from out of nowhere. Just a lot of work and grinding it out in the zones or something to that effect to turn something into a goal.
Even the goal rather, in this one, scored by Brady Pareda. That was just a puck that was being battled for in the left wing corner. It came out to Pareda in center. You know, he was right in front of goal. He was able to size up his shot and take it. But that developed out of, you know, battle in the corner. It was not a tremendous, you know, well drawn up 4 passes play by Greenfield or a breakaway or anything like that. That was just get the puck in the zone, keep control, try to make something happen, and the Green Wave were able to capitalize.
Yep. Many of these puck battles will end with, you know, the puck just squirting out. In that case, it squirted out to Pareda, who picked it up in the perfect spot and took the perfect shot. So we'll see how the Bulldogs were able to respond, you know, after that grinded out second period where there were a lot of great scoring chances, but ultimately nothing found the back of the net on either side.
Both teams had plenty of opportunity to get on the board. Neither of them were able to get past the goaltenders. Tremendous work in that second period by both Owen Richard of Monty Tech Fitchburg and Cooper Smith of Greenfield.
Monty Tech Fitchburg in the home white uniforms with the red number and trim. They'll go left to right in the third. Greenfield in the road, dark green uniforms with white numbers and trim and some black stripes. They'll go from right to left. Austin Haas to take the draw against Matt Garvin, and we're underway here in the third and final period here from the Civic Center in Hockey Night in Fitchburg. Porter Hall tried to clear it down into the Bulldog zone. That went off the referee's skates. The guys with the striped shirts are just as much of the action on the ice as the players are. They continue to battle forward in the neutral zone. Finally won by Jake Jurek. He gets a shot off on the right side, saved by Richard. One player for Greenfield trying to get on the rebound, but not in a position to turn around and shoot. Jeanette tries to get out of the zone. Pinballs around on the blue line. Picked up on the far side. Stubbart can't get a hold of it. Jurek in the right side boards. Whacks it down, and Charlie Calaro will take it for the Bulldogs. Swing it around the boards down the ice. Attempted to be played on by Anson Prunier. Couldn't make a clean play on it. Got enough of it so that kills the icing. All the way down it goes. Jurek will take it on the far side back in his own zone. Pass up ice on the right side. Garvin into the zone, lost the handle on it. Leader took it away, but Jurek will take the pass out on the right side, cutting across the slot. Still can't get settled for a shot. Into the left wing corner. Jake Knight battling for it. Couple of Bulldogs there. Leader lets it go. Matt Daniels takes it on the right side. Stretches up for Ben Jeanette. Jeanette up to the left side, takes it to the boards. So he gets some pressure there from Wade Bardell. Bardell will take the puck behind the net at the Zamboni entrance. Out to the left side point, back to the Leader, having trouble keeping control of it. It comes out to the red line. On the near side, 13:27 to go. Third period, 1-0 Greenfield. Shot from the left side by Lucasiano, and that's stopped by Owen Richard.
Just a fastball straight into the gut. Richard was able to hang on to it. Draws a face-off, which will come to his right.
The next game for Monty Tech Fitchburg will be in 2 days. They're going to be taking on the Hudson Hawks from the NESC in Marlborough. Meanwhile, the next game for Greenfield will be a week from today on the 18th, where they'll be taking on the Hudson Hawks from the NESC in Marlborough. Funny how that works out. And here's Tucker Watkins bringing it up the left side, but he loses a handle on it. Brady Pareda, who's our goal scorer, has it on the right side. Pareda trying to split past everybody. Can't win that battle. Goes into the left wing corner, sent out to the slot, but Pareda can't take it on the pass from Sean Bowman. Here's on the near side. Watkins again. He's got some space to work with. Tucker Watkins is stopped by Smith, who belly flops on the puck.
Smith made the initial save, and then once he found the rebound, Dan, he had a split second to make the decision. Do I stay in goal, trust my defense to clear this out, or do I hop on that dangerous piece of rubber and cover it with my life? Smith chose the latter option.
As if it was a grenade with its pin pulled, he just leaped on that one and covered it for the draw. It was a great opportunity by Watkins taking advantage of the space. Here's Gavin Roy, right circle, shot stopped by Smith. He'll cover for a draw.
A couple of Bulldogs were coming in, trying to nip that puck away from him.
Greenfield, a multi-team co-op. Of course, Greenfield High School is part of that. There's a few other teams. And there's a shot to score! Colaro took the shot, made it, tipped in front! 12:22 to go in the third. Monty Tech Fitchburg has tied the score at 1.
I believe, Dan, the deflection came from Chris Stefanillo, the junior forward.
We'll get confirmation on that. Would be Stefanillo's first of the year. Colaro took the shot, went through traffic, found its way past Smith. We got a new hockey game now. Stefanillo with a touch. Ciano tries to move it along. Roy, left side boards, dispossessed. Colaro steps up, keeps that going. Tries to pass it back to Colaro. He was trying to cut towards goal. Now Pareto overskates it, and it's turned towards goal, goes behind the net. Noah Johnson's not going to be the first to arrive for...
Number 27, Charlie Carrero. Assist to number 8, Chris Stefanillo. And number 9, Holy Trahan. Technical 2:38, third period.
It will be Colaro's goal, his second of the campaign, his 7th point. Stefanillo and Trahan each pick up their first points of the season. And here's Jackson Stubbart into the zone. Stubbart's shot goes just wide. Ricochets off the boards. Now out in front, Smith sees it, and he'll grab that one as well. 11:24 to go in the third, 1-1.
Again, Smith goes diving after a dangerous puck. This one coming off the backboards behind him. He decided to lunge out and snatch that out of the air.
Want to mention, Greenfield, Franklin County Tech, Frontier, Athol, and Pioneer Valley are the other teams in the co-op, although Pioneer Valley's more of a grandfathering in. And that encompasses much of Franklin County. Greenfield's really the only team that serves the students of Franklin County for the most part. There are a number of other schools in Franklin County besides just those ones, but those are the ones that are offering players right now. Jurek battling with Daniels. Daniels with an active stick able to take that away. Great high rising shot, just misses the mark, rides the boards and out of the zone. All the way down it goes. Sometimes you shoot the puck with tremendous velocity and it ends up 200 feet away. Greenfield holds back in their own zone. Jake Knight trying to shake off one of the Bulldogs and Nick Atkins, or Jackson Stubbart. Stubbart has that one with the pressure from Austin Haas, but loses it. Out to the center of the ice. Now up the left side, Jurek. Lost the handle. Now pass up. Good positioning for Knight. Didn't get the execution on the shot, though. Put it well wide of the cage. Jackson Leader trying to win on the far side boards in the Monty Tech end. But it'll be dumped back behind the Bulldog net as the Green Wave changes lines. So trying to make a line change. The Bulldog coming on the ice there. Loses an edge. Can't get a handle on it. Now on the right side, back in the Bulldog end, Bowman. Can't do anything with it. Bulldogs will skate it up. Here's Gendron on the left side into the zone, to the circle. Can't do much with it. Prunier with the pressure. Shot patted away by Smith into the left wing corner. Now behind the net. A lot of stick work in front of and behind the net. Now sent out for Watkins. His shot is blocked. Another chance. That goes off the boards in a weird direction. Gavin can't do anything with it. 2-on-1 for Greenfield back the other way. Skating up the right side. The pass can't be completed. Oh, that should have been put in. But Sean Bowman just could not get good wood on that puck. He couldn't get a clean shot away. I think it went off the post, off of Richard's pad, and stayed out.
I think Richard was able to reach back across his body and get his stick in there to deflect that pass. Tremendous work by the Monty Tech Fitchburg goaltender, and then I frankly have no idea how the puck did not wind up in the back of the net with Richard leaning back and then falling back on top of it. 3 Green Wave players in on top of him. And it comes to a face-off in the Monty Tech Fitchburg zone.
Shot from the left side boards is turned aside by Richard. That coming off the stick of Garvin, and it's cleared out of the zone. I know Richard has a shutout already this season, but he's honestly playing better in this contest with the number of great saves he's made than he played in the Leominster contest, where he made 16 saves, but most of those were low danger. He didn't have too many high danger chances. He's had significantly higher degree of difficulty tonight, and he's been up to the challenge. The 12s battling the boards. Gendron getting rubbed out there by Cam Hopkins, but comes out to Calaro, moves it around. Now along for Pernier. Stretch pass, tried to find Pareda breaking towards goal, but taken away by Calaro. But Calaro has his pocket picked. Up the right side, bad angle shot. And Richard sealing the far side is able to stop that one and hold it for a draw. 8:27 to go in the third, 1-1 the score.
Jake Knight was gifted a golden opportunity there. He was unable to take advantage.
We mentioned Jurek on Milestone Watch. You know, earlier this year on December 28th, he had a double hat trick against Longmeadow. 6 goals and an assist in a 7-5 win over the Lancers.
That'll play. I think you'll take that.
Oh, yeah. Now battling for it as it goes all the way to the top of the paint. Richard won't have any of that. On the right side. That's not going to be taken out of the zone. Porter Hall's going to turn it towards goal. Gavin Roy got in the way once and twice. As the puck migrates behind the net, Jackson Leader, right wing corner, back in the Monty Tech Fitchburg zone. This grinded out game, so much action, so much body work between the two teams. It's been an excellent, evenly matched game. 1-1 the scores. We reach the halfway point of the third. Stefanillo with a shot. Goes wide, trying to play it off the boards was Noah Johnson, but it gets to the stick of Sean Bowman first, who sends it into the third row.
We've been doing this for a while, Dan, and we've been in the safety of the press box for quite some time. I still, anytime I see a puck come over the boards, especially on the near side, just reflexively jump back in memory of the one time I was running a camera down there and my poor camera box wound up getting thwacked.
As it goes sometimes, Calaro shot misses to the right. Stubbert tried to get the rebound off the left side bounce. Couldn't get it through. 2-on-2 back the other way. Here's Matt Garvin. His shot turned aside by Richard. Loose in front, still loose. 2 saves for Richard there. And he's now paddleless. Both him and one of the Waves lost their sticks on that, but both of them able to pick it up while they had a brief moment.
Richard looked like he was building a stick fort for a second there.
And now another shot from the right side. Richard holds the post there. Makes his 22nd stop of the contest with 6:56 to go in the third. This is the third of 5 games that Greenfield is playing against Central Mass opponents this year. And I went back and looked at their schedules going back to 2007, 2008, and it was pretty common in years past for them to have maybe 1 or 2 games at most against Central Mass teams. But really opening up the schedule, that was something Adam Bouchard said he wanted to do and, you know, help strengthen their schedule. You know, it's way better than having the 25 seed like they did last year with a pretty solid record. And already 12th in Division 4 at the first power ratings. And there's still some pretty good teams to come, especially once they get Hudson in there. Hudson's in the top 10 right now, or thereabouts. Same goes for Monty Tech Fitchburg, of course. So here's Jurek on the left side, battling with Stefanillo. Jurek in the left wing corner, hipped off his stick, now thrown out in front. Greenfield can't settle. Now another chance goes behind the net. 6:12 to go in the third, 1-1 the score. Chance in front, trying to feed Bowman at the top of the paint. Couldn't get a stick on it. Back to the neutral zone on the red line. Dylan Grant stood up there. Whistle and a penalty. Porter Grant sent Dylan Grant. Porter Hall sent Dylan Grant to the ice. And that whack and sending him down was deemed when the puck was no longer considered available, and that is going to be called interference. Third power play of the day for Monty Tech Fitchburg, but their first since early in the first period.
The Bulldogs had a great chance early in this game They had a 2-man advantage for over a minute and were unable to score. If they can get a power play goal here, it will see them a long way toward a victory here tonight.
A 2-minute minor for interference. 10-minute penalty, 8:59, third period.
You hear the call from Jim LaPointe. So that's poked off the stick of Tucker Watkins. Bowman in the left wing corner. Now he's just going to pin it against the boards and kill precious seconds of this power play. Finally outnumbered, 3 Bulldogs taking it away from him. And it is Watkins who tries to skate it up the right side, put in the boards by Garvin. Watkins keeps it in as they try to clear it out off the stick of Bardwell. Watkins now for Gendron. And that was a nice little shrewd move there by Cooper Smith to put his paddle down there and block any potential centering pass. The puck ends up going right to his paddle, and he'll just cover it with the glove on the left hand.
Yeah, that would have been dangerous, says Smith. I'd rather not deal with that. In fact, here, let me just cover that up and deal with whatever happens that is instead of this dangerous thing. That'll be better, probably.
The Green Wave have 4 goaltenders on their roster, but they've played Cooper Smith for the entirety of the season. Logan Caron, a junior, who played just a little bit last year, got in long enough for a save. Taven Linus, who was a transfer from Leominster. Both of them were scratched today. Ben Johnson, a freshman, is the other dressed keeper for the Green Wave. Here is Gendron at the point. Didn't find anywhere to shoot, and then Garvin able to knock it away. Might have taken a stick up high, might have been his own. In any case, we play on. Bulldogs just trying to regain the zone with 40 to go in the power, 4:40 to go in the third in a 1-1 game. Gendron in the right wing corner, lost the handle, and it'll be sent all the way down. Richard will try to settle it down with the stick. It'll be left for Charlie Collaro. Collaro will skate it up on the far side, try to take it all the way, but too many sticks there for Greenfield, not going to let him have it that easily. 10 to go on the power. Shots 23-19 in this game in favor of Greenfield. Shots in this period, 8-7 in favor of the Green Wave. And here's a chance, a turnover on the right side, but good defensive pressure there from Matt Daniels to not allow Anson Prunier to have a chance. Penalties up, high rising shot, rises over the net, ricochets out of the zone, down the ice. You know, hugging the near side boards, you can't see where the puck is. And you have to just gauge based on where everybody else is going. Battling forward in the neutral zone. One of the officials will come over and close that penalty box door when they get a moment. Just as the puck is coming his way, too.
Of course. You think, oh, it's clear now, I can go get that door, and then nope, puck, gotta move.
Always gotta have your head on a swivel if you're one of the officials out there. 3:10 to go in regulation time in a 1-1 game. Matt Daniels kept it in the zone for the Bulldogs, and he'll keep it in a second time. Third effort finally gets it out of the zone for Greenfield as they continue to muscle their way up ice. Here's Jurek on the left side, puts on the brakes, centers, eventually finds Garvin. A shot fought off by Richard. Got it with the glove, and then on the rebound, they score! It's Lucasiano! With 2:46 to go in the third, Greenfield retakes the lead. That puck just goes into the left wing corner. Greenfield gets it, digs it out, and Ciano's right on the doorstep, and he's able to put it in before Richard can really even figure out what's happened.
Luca Ciano. Assist to number 2, Jake Jurek. Time of that goal.
Jurek gets the lone assist, and it is his 99th career point. Another late goal for Greenfield. They scored in the final minute of the first period, now in the last 3 of the third, to restore their lead.
And now, Dan, with under 2.5 to play, you gotta wonder, when does Noah Saracen want to pull his goalie?
They're gonna let that one go all the way, but it was deflected. Actually played with a high stick.
I think it was deflected by a Monty Tech Fitchburg player with a high stick.
Yeah, and that's why Monty Tech Fitchburg wasn't in a rush to play it, but maybe they should have been, because that's a precious second. The face-off's going to be in your own zone anyway. You might as well touch it up immediately and save the few seconds. Off the draw, shot is deflected to the right side and then deflected into the 5th row. We'll have another draw with 2:10 to go.
You see the couple over there? The lady's got the pink bag, and the guys say, like, no, it's fine, dear. I would have covered you up. It's okay. I'm here. I would have protected you. He was ducking away from that just as much as she was. I want to make that clear.
You mentioned the pink bag. You know that Coach Bouchard, he's been wearing those pink pants today on the bench there for Greenfield.
They're very stylish.
Very nice. 13th year head coach, graduate of Iona. Played 4 years of hockey for the Gales back when they had a hockey team. In the late 90s, early 2000s, actually ended up with 105 career points. Most of those in the Division I level, too, because they were D3 their first year and D1 the other 3 years. Hockey was weird back then. To an extent, it still is.
I was going to say, back then, like it's normal now.
Behind the net, Greenfield trying to get it out of the zone, dug out. Picked up on the left side, here's Pareda. The Jackson leader draped on his back. Centering pass gets through a lot of bodies, deflects around pinballs every which way, and then turned towards goal and kicked away by Richard. 1:15 to go in regulation time. Pitch forked out of the zone, back to the neutral zone though. Greenfield's got the positioning. Monty Tech Fitchburg's got to find a way to gain the offensive zone. Richard's starting to cheat up a little bit.
There he goes.
Now he's going to come off for the extra attacker. 6th skater coming on the ice now. With 60 seconds to go. As it comes to Calaro, he and Haas got tangled up a little bit. Still everybody getting tangled up. It's going to come out of the zone. Monty Tech Fitchburg's got to reset. 45 to go in regulation.
Dan, I don't know if it was Calaro or Haas who was the extra body coming on, but it was one of them, and that created the miscommunication that really cost Monty Tech Fitchburg on that last opportunity.
Now Jurek able to pick that one up, tries to put it in the FBI, puts it wide. It was that close to his 100th career point. And you know that had to be on his mind in that moment. Now 20 seconds to go in the contest. On the left side, throw towards goal, punched away by Smith. Into the corner, 15 seconds. Haas can't settle it down. He gets it back, tries to center. It's cut up, 7 seconds to go. Pushed out of the zone by Knight. It can only be hand passed away, and it's thrown off the post. And time's going to expire before they can put it in the empty net. Greenfield will take the 2-1 victory.
Dan, have you ever seen a player as despondent in the seconds following a thrilling 1-0 win as Jake Jurek was? Doubled over, unable to get that 100th career point, but still celebrating a victory, a well-earned one for the Green Wave.
As helter-skelter as it was in the final seconds there. And good defense once again by Greenfield. Didn't let Monty Tech Fitchburg have too many opportunities even when they had the extra skater on the ice. Really, they had better shots at the Monty Tech Fitchburg empty net. And despite the yawning cage, they couldn't put it home. But a well-played game. We were talking with Coach Bouchard earlier, and I asked him, how many times have you guys actually had a chance to come down here to the Wallace Civic Center? Because of how rare it has been in years past for Greenfield to come out east. They've played here earlier this year when they played Lunenburg Air Shirley. That was a 3-2 win for LAS, a 1-goal loss. Now finally counterbalanced with a 1-goal win today here at the Civic Center in Fitchburg. And it was definitely quite the experience, I imagine, for this Greenfield side. And they're going to make a very, very happy trip back down Route 2 today.
Happy trip out west for the Green Wave. They celebrate a 2-1 victory. Dan, this was just a tremendous game to watch. Back and forth, evenly contested throughout. And then that third period had everything you could have hoped for, although I suppose given that we are on FATV, we should mention that the Fitchburg team didn't win, which isn't the best thing, but yeah, it was a good hockey game. You got to see a good hockey game. That's what counts.
We knew it was going to be a good game coming in there, and these two teams played a balanced, even game, as you'd expect, between 12th and 20th in Division 4, and ultimately the team ranked 12th got the victory. But it was a hard-fought victory, and you knew it was going to be a hard-fought victory no matter who was going to be the one and coming away with it. 23 saves for Owen Richard, 19 saves for Cooper Smith. Lucasiano has to get the first star. He factored in, he got an assist on the first goal, got the winning goal with 2:46 left. I would give Richard one of the stars. You can decide if he's second or third for his strong play and goal today, because if not for some of the great saves he made, this could have been a 5 or 6-1 win.
Absolutely. Both goaltenders played tremendously. Neither should feel aggrieved. Owen Richard does come up on the short side, but he did everything he could to keep his team in this game. Again, Dan, it was just a tremendous contest and a thrill to call it with you here on FATV. One more time, folks, we want to let you know Monty Tech Fitchburg's next game will be just 2 days away this coming Monday against Hudson. Greenfield will wait an entire week to play again. They play Saturday, January 18th against Hudson, and our next hockey telecast here on FATV will be sometime this coming week, I imagine.
Yep, so we've got 2 games on the docket next week, both involving Fitchburg State University.
Not Hudson.
Not Hudson. Hudson's not involved in this one. And maybe there'll be a kid or two from Hudson somewhere, maybe, I don't know. But I will say on the 16th is our next telecast, in which Fitchburg State, finally after a very, very, very long road trip, will come home to the Wallace Civic Center, and they'll be taking on the AMCATs of Anna Maria College. That'll be a 6:30 puck drop, and then next Saturday, hockey night in Fitchburg here on FATV. Fitchburg State will be taking on the Owls of Westfield State for a 5 o'clock puck drop. And the next time we have a Monty Tech Fitchburg game here on FATV will be 2 weeks from today. It'll be a doubleheader of hockey. We'll have a Fitchburg State game, and we will also have Monty Tech Fitchburg, as they'll be taking on the Worcester Wildcats for a 2 o'clock puck drop. So obviously Monty Tech Fitchburg will have the early game in that doubleheader, and Fitchburg State will have the late game at 5 o'clock.
We look forward to bringing you all of those games here on FATV. Before we say goodbye, folks, we want to thank Travis Falk for running the camera and the audio for us once again here today. Travis does a tremendous job, and nothing we do here at FATV would be possible without Travis, but it can also be said that it would not be possible without you. So for Dan Bolak, I'm John Gugerty saying thank you so very much for being with us here tonight for Hockey Night in Fitchburg on FATV.